Yo, what's up? Amazing news today. The dry weeks are over and the weeks of nonsensical posts and merge back and forth and merge whining and merge failing are over, because we got a post now that the merge is saved with some good ideas, meaning all of the nonsense ideas that I had to analyze last time are deleted now, and we actually get the good stuff that we were proposed months ago, even worked out better than they were months ago. And we get some great ideas on top of it. So yeah, you won't believe this came from Darkflow, because I haven't seen anything bad about this post, only good things, so let's dive in. For those wondering what happened last time, and for those who haven't seen my video about that, because apparently my video got restricted by YouTube regarding its visibility, because I had a bad word that every 8-year-old uses online in the title. Yes. But every musician can use it. Don't worry, it's 4 letters, not more. So yes, that's why possibly many people didn't watch it. Basically, the summed version is the Darkflow proposed around 1 week ago to not give us battle rating, instead to give us a quite brain-damaged map-based matchmaking. And literally, don't even, if you don't want any headache, just don't even think about it. It was absolutely annoying, stupid, complicated, and in the end completely bad. And I deduced that it was literally the bastardization of too much compromising between idiotical opinions in the first place. But now everything gets straight and clear again, because here's how the new matchmaking is gonna be, and this is the final version. We get battle ratings, not 10 but 5. But these 5 can be fine-tuned in the future as depicted here in the text. And specifically it means the following. We have our 4 big nations, the Axis Germans, the Soviets, the Americans and the Japanese. And they will be split on the 2 main queues, battle rating 1, 2 and battle rating 4 and 5. And this leaves out battle rating 3 as the centerpiece. And here's how it works. If you have your army with battle rating 1 or 2, you're gonna be playing in the first queue. Obviously, this means that 1 and 2 will be playing together. If you have 5 and 4 stuff in your army, you will be playing in the 5 and 4 queue. But if you have the center queue of 3, if your battle rating is 3, you will be playing in either. Or also in simply together with other people of the 3 queue. And here's the good news. This brings actually some very nice advantages. It isn't as perfectly nuanced as having 10 battle ratings, but first of all, the bigger the player base will be, the more fine-tuned this will become, because obviously the algorithms aren't stupid. If you have, let's say, 100,000 players playing, you're gonna get so many little queues with people trying to connect that you can get like perfect games where 10 versus 10 players are playing with exactly the same battle rating. Yeah, so the bigger the player base, the more fine-tuned this will become. But also, right now, it gives the advantage that many people complain they don't want to see the same weapons always against each other. Because obviously in real war, you don't have perfect balance. And if you're playing King Tigers against IS-2s, it will become boring and at some point in time to always face the same enemy tank. So yes, this combination of 2 battle rating numbers will mean that you actually experience some nice heterogenic gameplay by having different types of enemies. And for Germans it means if you're a Soviet, you're gonna see King Tigers, normal Tigers and even Panther Gs and so on constantly and on enemy side. So you're gonna basically see all the good tanks, not only the absolutely best tanks. Same thing goes for weapons. So yeah, this is good. And it's also very interesting on the lower battle ratings, where you will see lots of bolt actions but also semi-autos. And this is where it's even possibly better, because, well, what is better, bolt action or semi-auto? Exactly, there's no clear answer. And there's there's a definitely clear answer on the highest battle ratings, where you always play the STG over the MKB, but on the low battle ratings, this is gonna create some really nice, interesting gameplay, and everyone can basically play whatever he wants and still be on equal foot, which is great, yeah. and the people who queue for tree. This is, by the way, a good idea I didn't actually come up myself with, because all of the things said here, I've been saying since months that Darkflow needs to do, because it was obvious that it's the best way to do it. But this central piece of tree, this is quite cool, because if you feel very daring, just build yourself a tree-rated army, and then you never know where you're gonna queue up. Unless there's gonna be a clear meta game where you can expect it, but in theory you don't know where you're gonna queue up. And if you want to experience just complete wild battles, yeah, this is what you can do. So yeah, this is cool, and here's the best thing. I've been saying for months, Enlisted needs to create something like distinct formats. Distinct formats means, like in other games, you have different ways of playing the game. And I don't mean squad and, what's the other thing? Lone fighters, yeah. That wasn't even a joke right now. I literally forgot because I never do it and almost never no one plays it. So I forgot the name. Distinct format means completely different types of experiencing the game. And playing Battle Rating 1 is like playing a different game from Battle Rating 5. It's like a complete different game. And this is the great thing. Now all the new people coming to Enlisted are gonna find something they really like, and they're gonna find something they like to play, different battle ratings, different tiers. So yeah, this is amazing. This is absolutely amazing. And for those interested in details, if you're playing Soviets, your 1 and 2 battle ratings are gonna be mainly basically means there's some flexibility, and it depends on the amount of players connecting currently. If there are lots of players connecting, it will be very precise. If there are few players connecting, well, there will be some distortions with more unequal armies, but it's okay, because playing with some distortion from time to time, not only cool for guitarists, but also good for Enlisted players, experience some nice surprises in their World War II games. So yeah, Battle Rating 1 and 2 will be Moscow and Stalingrad, which makes mostly sense, and Battle Rating 4 and 5 will be Stalingrad and Berlin. You see, by the way, we need more maps from different stuff like Battle of Kursk and other stuff. Yeah, so we need more maps to... This system right now looks a bit clunky because the power level of weapons in Stalingrad was much higher than in Moscow, especially in the end. But by adding more maps to the game, all of this can be smoothed out, and we're gonna have a really nice, precise, smooth experience for all the theaters of the game. If you like to play Americans, you're gonna get Tunisia and Pacific for Battle Rating 1 and 2. And for Battle Rating 4, you're gonna get Normandy and Pacific. This a little downside for very new players who won't be able to search for the Privates of Rhine in Normandy, because, well, if you start the game, if you just install it, you're gonna only have access to 1 and 2 stuff. Though, I've said last time, there needs to be a button in the game that lets you be upscaled. And by upscaling means that you can just get into any queue you want, even if you're a new player. The easiest solution for that would be, by the way, to if there's a random item, like let's say a specific, like large ammo pouch or something like that, that will automatically give you battle rating 3 or even 4, and then you will be automatically upscaled. And also I stress the fact, as I said in my last video, this needs to be clearly communicated to the players that this is possible in the game by having a little reminder text in game, because no one will fucking understand it himself if he installs the game. So this needs to be constantly reminded that people actually use it and know that it works, because many people complain about the battle rating system, don't know that they can always get upscaled. So if you want to play your low power level Volkssturm units on Berlin, you can do it by just give your soldiers one random high-ranked weapon and never use it, and you're gonna get battle rating 5, and you can play against those overpowered Soviets with your very low-quality wartime production K98Ks. This is absolutely viable, but people don't know that it works. So yeah, the game needs to remind the players of it. This is absolutely important. Okay, and obviously there's the trick with the battle rating 3 where you get anywhere. Keep in mind there's no 5 right now for the Americans, because, yeah, the Japanese don't have, 5 as Americans also will give you Normandy, especially in the future, But the Japanese right now don't have a level 5 battle rating because they're still too low level. So if once in the future the battle rating 5 comes up for Japanese, you will also be able to queuing with them as an American, but right now it's not possible. Because right now the Japanese only have 1, 2, 3. And here's the trick that they have specifically for the Japanese. To avoid putting high and low power Japanese, since they still have very distinct disadvantages and advantages, there are 2 separate queues for the Japanese, meaning if you have 1, 2, or 3 battle rating, you're going to be in the lower queue, and if you have 3 and 4 battle rating for the Japanese, you're going to be in the higher queue, and this will give you stronger or weaker American opponents. And for the Germans, lastly, if you got battle rating 1 and 2, you play Moscow, Stalingrad, and Tunisia. Makes sense. And if you play 5 and 4 battle rating, you're gonna be Stalingrad, Berlin, and Normandy. So if you want to experience the whole game with only one nation, Germany is the way to go. If you don't care about Pacific. But yeah, this is the nation that gives you access to the most stuff. Obviously, since Germany was the centerpiece of World War II. So yeah, that's a simple trick. Another piece of information is that if you're a very new player, your first battles will be in separate queues, only with bots. Yeah, okay, makes obviously sense. But the good news train doesn't stop here, it keeps driving forward because we get a good solution to an important problem. Over the course of the war, the Soviets got better and better stuff. Americans got better and better stuff. But what about the Germans? Well, since they got into bigger and bigger trouble, their production facilities got worse and worse, their resources got worse and worse, logistics got worse and worse. So although technology progressed really, really fast for the Germans, their production output got worse. It wasn't as bad as people assume, if you actually look at the numbers, especially regarding the research of the last 20 years, because the production capacities were still insane in the year 44. They were really insane. And even in 1945, despite the fact that Germany was either occupied or destroyed, you still had extremely high unexpected production in some cases. But the quality was bad. The quality was bad, and many things like tanks, especially the King Tigers, suffered from worse armor than they could have because there weren't enough rare metals to mix metals and create stronger metal types. Or many planes, especially the jet planes, were much worse than they were actually intended and planned to be, because you also lacked rare metals, and you couldn't build the engines properly, and so the engines were much less reliable than they were actually designed. And obviously the most famous example, the very low quality production bolt actions and SMGs in the end of the war that the Volkssturm used. All of this will be nicely and intelligently solved in the new system, because there were some people who apparently lacked the ability to think in nuances, let's put it this way, and they said, yeah, this is a problem. It came late, so it should have a late number, but it's weak. How are we gonna solve it? Very simple. The game just makes flexible compromises. That is the easy answer. The game is gonna fine-tune the battle rating, making sure, as the overall premise of this is, that the community prefers fair, power-leveled games. And stuff like chronistic perfection, meaning when something was invented during the war or introduced, this is less important. And yeah, like in the future update, like in the future merge, this will be also solved nicely. Very good. Also, as I proposed, stop listening to idiots constantly talking bullshit on the internet. Just make a system that works. And what was proposed 1 week ago absolutely didn't work, but this will work out. And the last advantage of the last news we get here is the final, how the Stalingrad problem is gonna be solved. Yes, the Stalingrad engineers, there were lots of discussions about them, and it's like the problem here isn't the Stalingrad engineers themselves. The problem is a trust issue. because Darkflow sold lots of Stalingrad access packs and then took away all the fees, because they literally were deleted, not from the store itself only, but also the advantages got deleted from the people. And this is obviously not how you conduct business. It's at least not if you want to keep selling stuff in the future. So yeah, and now we got a solution for that, and the solution is that they, like, the Stalingrad engineers will be just normal engineers now, as already said a couple weeks ago. But there will be events, and there will be one event in the future where all the 4 big nations can get assault rifle engineers. Yes, they will get, specifically said, a squad where they can use assault rifle engineers. So quite balanced. And this event will be quite long, I guess, because they said that in order to get the German or Soviet squad, you will have to grind a lot. And you can trust one thing: if Darkflow admits you have to grind a lot, you will have to grind a lot. But if you had the Stalingrad pack, you will get those squads instantly at the beginning of the event for free, and you won't even have to grind for them. So I guess that you will even get some levels for free overall, so you don't even have to grind a couple levels. Yeah, this is good. This is really good. This is a very smart, creative solution. This is a very nice solution. Also, this is, as I said, don't take away, don't limit, don't censor. Always give people, always expand, and always make stuff free and accessible, because this is how people like you, and this is how you make good things. Don't think like a communist, think like a libertarian. And this is exactly what Darkflow did for once. And instead of just taking away stuff from the Stalingrad access pack buyers, they give every player something. And yes, everyone is gonna get access to assault rifle engineers, at least for one squad, which is good because this limits them. It's completely okay to have one squad like that. And I don't even see any, it is the best news about it, because I already see some people complaining. Oh, well, not really understanding the balance, which is okay because it's a bit complicated. I think there's absolutely no problem regarding balance of assault rifle engineer squads, the way they're proposed here, because obviously there will be only high battle rating. Like, you won't have assault rifles in battle rating 1 anyway, so there will be only a thing of battle rating 4 and 5. I assume they will make it 5 to make it just clear. Now, what can you play on battle rating 5? As a German, you can play FG42-2s or STGs. Now, what would you rather play, STGs or 4042-2s? Yes, it's debatable. Same thing goes for the Soviets. Well, I don't really know what the AVT or whatever, how good it is, the last one. I think I would play the Fedorov or the AS above it, but for the Germans it's clear. And for the Americans, yeah, what is better, an M2 carbine or a 50 drum Mac Thompson? It actually depends on how good you can aim with the Thompson. So yeah, here's the thing, it's really debatable. So there's not much of a problem. Like, whether you give them that type of weapon or the other type of weapon, it's not that much of a problem. And since it's max level anyway, it's quite okay. And people are gonna have some really nice and cool thing to grind for. And I recommend them to make this event not right after the merge, but after they see lots of players playing, lots of new players, so all the new players can also get the stuff. Alright, that's it. There was finally a good news drop, and as we can see, the heart to user ratio is better than before. It's better than before, and some people are still complaining, and I vaguely flew over their comments, and I haven't seen any reasonable complaints to discuss or so. So yeah, this is good. If you have anything to discuss, let me know. If you like it, obviously just say that you like it, and if you don't like it, tell me why, and maybe come up with better ideas, because you know what I'm sure about? The people who watched my last video, I proposed that they just give their thoughts on the forum, and guess what? I guess it's now coincidence that everything that's written here is basically exactly what I proposed, and the people also likely wrote. Because apparently you are the reason now why good things happen at Darkflow and they come up with good ideas. Great. So, if you liked the video and got some good news out of it, let me know by liking and subscribing if you're new. and also share it with your nerd friends so they all get hyped about playing some really good games after the merge, which will happen likely around the 22nd of this month. Until next time, goodbye.